easy, and we'll market each asset not just to our enormous equipment buying community, but specifically to the right bidders who are eager to purchase your specific assets. We'll handle the paperwork and payments so you can get back to running your business. Join the growing list of happy sellers who don't just sell but succeed with Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseballs.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 50% bonus trade-in on all new clubs. Buy any 2 apparel items and receive a 3rd free. And save big on shoes, bags, carts, and travel covers. The more you buy, the more you save. Shop with us this Memorial Day weekend, in-store or online. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Hey, Mid-South, I've got Marty McNay getting back to the past on these prices at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
This is heavy, Doc. I mean, Randy. Let's go with 42 MPG Highway and a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for $249 a month. Or take your pick from a 2024 Tiguan S or 2024 Taos SE for only $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. You got it going on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Let me hit those deals again. 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE, $249 a month, or take your pick. 2024 Tiguan S or Taos SE, $279.28 a month.
Your future is whatever you make of it, Randy, so let us help you make your future down here at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Jetta number RMO 46526, MSRP 26,996. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31,363. Taos RM 174, MSRP 31,414. Includes all credit and incentives. PF 695. Excludes DTNL. See dealer for complete details. With approved credit dealer stock only. Offer expires into the month.
Come join your Memphis Showboats for our annual Hats Off to Heroes game on Sunday, May 26th at 1:30. All game long, we'll be honoring military members, first responders, healthcare workers, and teachers. If that's not enough to get to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, then we'll also throw in a free grill spatula with an etched Showboats logo while supplies last. On top of all this, tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. Memphis versus DC, Sunday, May 26th at 1:30. Go Boats!
The 36th Annual John Bull Bramlett Memorial Golf Classic is Tuesday, May 28th. This summer, Great Memphis Fellowship of Christian Athletes, or FCA, will have over 1,000 student athletes and coaches participating in camps. The funds raised from this golf tournament help send athletes to camp where they learn more about their sport as well as learning leadership skills while hearing the gospel of Jesus. For registration and sponsorship information, please visit memphisfca.org or email memphisfca@fca.org.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now to talk some golf and make some picks, John Goen from Timber Trust Golf joins us now. John, thanks so much for joining us. How'd you enjoy the PGA Championship over the weekend, and how are things going at Timber Trust?
Yeah, the PGA Championship was great, guys. I'm sure everybody had a chance to watch it. What a great ending, thrilling event. Couldn't have really gone any better, I think, from a PGA of America perspective. And, Valhalla kind of lived up to what Valhalla has normally lived up to. I mean, you had Tiger Woods and Bob May, and you had Kenny Perry and Mark Brooks, and you had the sprint to the finish with Mickelson and Rory. And so great event. As far as Timber Trust goes, it's been a busy few days. We've been really busy kind of working golf course wise, just kind of doing some cultural practices on a few different things, fairways and tees and things along those lines. And then we thought we were absolutely perfect today, throwing fertilizer all over the golf course, and literally Olive Branch missed the majority of all the rain that has kind of moved through. We got, I think we got just a little bit. So clearly tomorrow, although there's supposed to be some more, we'll need to get in there in the morning and throw a lot of water on tees and fairways in particular, where we threw fertilizer today, just to make sure we don't burn things up a little bit. So kind of ironic or comical that it was the end of the world forecast here and dodged it all.
Unbelievable, because it's gully washers at a lot of places. John, last weekend at Valhalla, you're right, it lived up to it again. You mentioned those 4 thrilling PGA championships they've hosted and that Ryder Cup. They're not going back again for a while for the PGA there. That because the PGA championship it's locked in for a lot of years, and even some out years that are way out there. I think they have one like in 2047 in Frisco, Texas, at a place that they're going to own. But it has delivered for monumental moments. Now, it did not have a very flattering moment early hours Friday morning, and I think some people are going to they're going to associate that with Valhalla not hosting again anytime soon. But a lot of these dates were already planned not anytime soon. It's not just because of what happened to Scottie Scheffler.
Well, I mean, clearly it was an extremely unfortunate situation on multiple fronts, with regard to what happened at 5:00 in the morning there on Friday morning. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, clearly, as everybody talked about, the gentleman that lost his life is the biggest part of that story. I mean, unfortunately, in that situation, it's probably some folks that are a bit aggressive in their response to some things that are going on, not probably doing a lot of their due diligence and trying to figure out and wade through the situation. Clearly, from what I've read on X and other platforms, I mean, the gentlemen that were involved in that were not part of the normal detail for the event to have an understanding of letting the players through to be able to get to the golf course. So, they're completely inexperienced for the situation. Now, granted, you would also think some common sense would kind of come into play there, where you're literally looking at a vehicle that's got a courtesy magnet on the side of it and a player who has a credential more than likely to be able to show you to let him through. And, it just sounds like at the end of the day, it was, it's clearly before the sun comes up, a substantial amount of confusion with regards to the situation. And, just a complete, I think, overreaction, an unfortunate overreaction on the part of the officers that are involved. And, look, that doesn't have anything to do with Valhalla. I mean, evidently, if you listen to, a lot of the interviews that morning, I heard some stuff with Will Zalatoris and some others. Back to your point, Brett, of Valhalla not hosting, it just sounds like that Valhalla is an extreme case with how chaotic it is to get in there anyhow. Mm-hmm. So clearly, very similar to some of the situation that we dealt with, years ago when I was at Southwind when the rumors were floating around about, when Stanford was involved of the event moving from Southwind to Spring Creek Ranch because of their involvement at Spring Creek Ranch. When the tour went and looked at the venue out at Spring Creek Ranch, there was a lot of infrastructure challenge, points there. And that was before 269 opened up to be able to go from Collierville to Arlington. They were not putting in an exit ramp there on Raleigh-LaGrange. It just sounds as if, that Valhalla has a pretty substantial, logistical situation that, granted, they can work on over the span of the next few years if that's something that they want to. But, there was a lot of conversation, I heard and read about, Valhalla potentially not hosting an event for, in the future, maybe even being taken off the schedule because of certain situations as well. So, but clearly, I think it's proven itself to be a great venue.
Sure
the PGA of America really is not involved there much anymore. There's a new ownership group that's in there. I can see the PGA moving away from there, and clearly too, the PGA of America wants to focus a lot of eyeballs on the new home of the PGA of America in Frisco, Texas, with the golf courses and putting course and everything else that's going on down there. And I can see wanting to kind of, host some more events and venues. And with the May date, it also creates some challenges. And then, I've also heard that, historically Valhalla, when they have hosted PGA championships, tends to be a little bit on the wet side. No fault of their own. I mean, it's a Mother Nature issue more than anything. And this year obviously proved to be that again as well with the rains, early, and then, a lot of mud balls that were, the blame of some of the players. I think it would be completely different. If it was a firm, fast golf course, but, other than that, I think that they clearly kind of pointed the finger a little bit, at Valhalla being, a little too damp, and another reason to kind of move away from that being a future event venue.
John, you touched on it. You're a great resource for our listeners to know about this, to watch a little bit of the sausage making in all the years that you were head professional at TPC Southwind and then general manager of TPC Southwind, the hours of meetings that you've been in, ranging from everything from the driving range to what you have out for them to eat breakfast in the players' room. John, during that week, could you enjoy the tournament, or were you ready for 7:00 Sunday to get here?
Look, I think there's always windows of opportunity where you can enjoy the event. I mean, at the time, you're one of 40-something people throughout the world that are, hosting the best players in the world at the time. Come into Memphis and play golf. So I think that there's always an opportunity to, sit back and at least take it in a little bit. It's a long week. There's definitely no doubt about that. I mean, those weeks start at probably 4:00 in the morning, as far as just a get up time. And, fortunately or unfortunately, you really don't leave until the last player leaves. And some of those guys, now that they set up, lights out on putting greens and stuff like that, will stick around for a little bit. So, I mean, there's days where, you're not out of there until probably 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. I still remember to this day showing up 5 a.m., probably 4:45 realistically. It is pitch black dark outside. I was the first one there from my staff's perspective at the time, and the side door right outside my office, the head pro's office, was locked, and you hear somebody pulling on the door to get in, and sure enough, it's a tour player at 4:45 in the morning, where he can't do anything. And his tee time's not till 7. Yeah. So it's just those types of things that you don't necessarily anticipate, and back to Scotty's thing, I mean, heck, at the end of the day, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. His tee time's 8:48 or something like that. I mean, he's there 3 hours and 48 minutes out of his tee time. So it's those types of small things that you just don't think about. You learn from them. You know, and then just something nice I always did for the whole staff, department heads and some key staff that were a huge part of that week. You know, I always made sure that, you know, I got the champion from that year to autograph a pin flag for him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought that was always kind of something nice to be able to give him at the end of a long week. And, you know, some are obviously worth a lot more than others at the end of the day. I mean, you know, when you had, I know people don't necessarily like it from a FedEx perspective, but heck, when you had a guy like Lee Westwood, you had some guys like Dustin Johnson and others win. You know, I mean, those obviously mean something. And Nick Price, I mean, you had back-to-back in David Toms before the renovation in 03 and 04 on bent grass greens, and then it took until Justin Leonard, you know, who was obviously a major winner at the time, to go back-to-back as well. So, you know, like I said, it was always it's a fun week. You got to take time to be able to soak it in and kind of step back out of the whole situation a little bit. It's definitely a very, very long. Realistically, it's a long couple of weeks. You know, it takes a lot out of you, and of course, you know, the most challenging part, as I've always said, is it's not the week of the tournament. It's the week after on Tuesday when the members come back, and you've got to be back full of energy, welcoming them back to the golf course and everything else. That was always the most challenging part of tournament week is welcoming the members back and being ready for that, especially when they keep asking you whether you've gotten any rest yet and it's Tuesday. And you've got to, you've had to put the golf shop back together. You've had to unpack the merchandise tent with what's left and everything else. You try to look at them and smile the best you can and try not to rattle off a couple expletives at the exact same time.
And you did that well. I can attest to it. John, going with us from Timber Trust Golf, talking all things golf. He's on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. John, tell our listeners, where do you have your Fabian Gomez winning flag hanging?
Fabian's up. I mean, I can't say exactly on the wall, you know. So I've taken one of the cool things we've kind of done. I still actually have a few I need to put up, but one of the cool things we've done is, you know, for the years that obviously I was at Southwind, and then the years I've been fortunate enough to be able to go to Augusta, you know, I've put those in some shadow boxes and hung them up on the wall around the clubhouse inside Timber Trust. And so, you know, I've got all sorts of things. I've been very fortunate to you know, have some folks that I've run into. You know, I've got one from my days out at TPC Summerlin. Larry Bird came out and you know, was there when I was at Summerlin. And of course, you know, back in the days, you know, during 9/11, you know, we were one of the first stops when the tour kind of came back on schedule. So, you know, we were fortunate enough to kind of have a few things there. And, you know, and even here locally, I mean, Danica Patrick and Ricky Stenhouse, you know, a couple of NASCAR folks, you know, when they were involved with each other, you know, would come out and play at TPC Southwind, you know, when I was there. So, you know,
he didn't throw any punches, did he?
No punches, no punches.
Okay.
And now that he's a Daytona 500 champion, everybody loves him anyhow. So, you know, it's all good. But yeah, there's plenty of stories that can be told. I mean, there's John Daly stories. There's plenty of good stories that you can tell over your time. You know, I mean, in 17 years, I mean, I was fortunate enough to go out to San Francisco one year, 2009, for the President's Cup. I was out in San Francisco for 16 days during that stretch and worked the merchandise concession area. Was honored to be asked by some folks to be able to come out there and work that event. So, you know, I mean, those are the things that, you know, you look back on life and you kind of think how lucky you are to have the opportunity to be able to do those types of things. And, Just kind of leads to all the experience and things now that we, try to put in and implement at Timber Truss and try to, provide the best experience we can for our customers down there as well.
Absolutely. Well, John, I'm watching Sunday afternoon into the evening, and it's just such a hard sport, golf, isn't it? So impressive watching these guys out there in such a tense situation down the stretch, so close. And then I wonder, how hard is it to pick back-to-back winners in 2 straight weeks like I did this week with Xander Schauffele? What a win.
You serious?
Gets that monkey off his back.
I knew this was going to
Rory
happen.
the week before. All credit. No credit to me. I got to give all the credit to Big Xander. What a weekend he had. But I thank him profusely.
Absolutely knew this was going to happen.
This was the biggest shade.
I don't even know if there was a question in there, but I just wanted to get that out there.
No, there was not a question. It was
editorial.
100% statement. There was no question involved. I just felt like there was a lot of, patting yourself on your own back.
I don't know if I would
that
call
was
it
happening
that,
there.
John.
A lot of, pounding of your own chest then maybe.
Jersey popping?
I like jersey popping, yes.
You would have thought, though, with winning back-to-back weeks that you would have actually taken the lead, and last time I checked, that's not necessarily the case. So, we could go down that path.
Brett, he reversed the scoreboard on me.
Here we go there,
wow.
cowboy.
There's a two-handed slam dunk, isn't it?
Wow, yeah, I have no response.
Which scoreboard?
I have no response. That was
and we're all lucky that Bryson DeChambeau didn't win.
That's absolutely right.
Or Lee Odwin would have won about $16 million.
Good Lord.
And we didn't even touch on Bryson, but how awesome was that? I I get that obviously being a live player and whatever else, but I tell you, I kid you not, I'm sitting there going, praying for a playoff just because I didn't want to deal with Brian on this whole thing. I just didn't want to deal with it.
I'm glad we didn't get a playoff. How about that?
Because I kid you not, if it goes to a playoff, Bryson's going to beat the stew out of him.
He is.
He was so
Xander was wobbly.
fired up. It was, that is as impressive. As much as we have talked about Bryson being the beefcake guy that you kind of
par 68 at Augusta National.
He's had his squabbles with Brooks, but that was as impressive as I have seen Bryson, even from the year that he won the U.S. Open. I was rooting for Bryson. I'm like, come on. Okay. First of all, the break he gets on the par 5 for it to go, on the par 4, 16, I think, 16, 17, where it kicks it back out in the fairway. But seriously, fellas, 221 8-iron?
Yeah.
Absolute smoke show?
8-iron.
No, 8-iron? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sitting there going, let's see.
What's your 8-iron? What's your 8-iron distance, John?
Not 221. Not 221.
No, not even close.
80 yards short of that.
Or more for me. It was impressive, and we got to get the golf world settled. I know a lot of resignations last week, Jimmy Don and one other, but we got to get it settled this week at Fort Worth at Colonial Country Club, redone in Fort Worth, a great historic PGA Tour stop. I'm first up. I'm in 4th place, and I'm going to try the Scotty show. Everybody else wins with him. I'm not going to lose without him.
I don't think he'll get arrested in Dallas. I think you're safe there.
I don't think so either. I think those Texas State Rangers would drive him to the golf course. Give me Scotty Scheffler. Lee Odwin, you pick second.
Heck, he might get a blue light from his house.
He sure could.
I'm going with Colin Morikawa.
Very good pick. That was second on my list. Bryant, third, even after winning at a major.
Well, you know,
back-to-back weeks,
back-to-back
weeks of
Thank
winning,
you, John.
and doubling last week.
Correct.
Still in second place.
It's so many provisos to this. You're right, John.
Just trying to make sure we clarify where things sit here.
Yeah. With that being said, I'm going to take Max Homa with my pick.
Very good. Look at y'all going right down the list. John?
I'll take Victor Hovland.
Ooh, that's a great pick. Victor Hovland.
After the way he played last week?
Yeah. And he feels like
back with Joe Mayo.
He feels like he's next.
To kind of right the ship. Feels like he's back where he was at during FedEx Cup playoff time frame.
Sure does. Shock time, 26 and up on OWGR. Give me Taylor Moore.
That's a good one.
Lee Odwin?
I don't want to go back to the well again, but
yes, you do.
I think it's possible for DeChambeau to break through.
Yeah, DeChambeau's not playing this week.
No, he's not in. That's right.
No DeChambeau, someone else.
Yeah, he's lived.
It's not a live event.
Yeah.
Man, this is a tough one. My backup pick now, since it's not DeChambeau, is Tony Finau.
Tony Finau. Is he 26 and up?
He's 30.
He's 30.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I was just wondering. I wasn't being accusatory. Good pick.
No. Oh, we're only accusatory to Bryant. We're okay with that.
Well, I'm glad this week that
Ludwig
Oberg isn't participating this weekend, so I don't have to be tempted to pick him again with my shock pick.
Good thing you didn't.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm going to go with Harris English this weekend.
Harris English, former Memphis champion, John.
Yep. Let's see here.
Here it comes, Ryan.
Your boy Higo is playing this weekend, John.
He is. He is my boy. Boy, I didn't realize Harris English was 45. Good
I didn't
Lord. Either. I'll take Chris Kirk.
Chris Kirk, very good pick. Tell us what's going on at Timber Trust. Is there a carryover tomorrow from last week? And how much fun are we having this weekend for the long Memorial Weekend down at Timber Trust?
My whole game plan last week, playing the back nine, figured we get a carryover skin, some other things kind of going on, completely turned into a train wreck for me. 5 skins last week. I'm like, nobody must have played well whatsoever. So they all won probably about $4.50, maybe. Best case. Probably not, but I think it was a little more than that. But, completely backfired on me. So, still looking forward to playing tomorrow night. As I said, we've dodged the rain today, so I know it's supposed to happen maybe late tomorrow night, so I think we've got a really good chance of getting in the two-person tomorrow night. Call us 662-895-3530 to be able to sign up for the 2-man scramble tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun, and we can get it in hopefully before the weather and everything hits. This weekend, I know it's kind of that first opportunity for folks to maybe kind of head to the beach or do whatever, but golf courses, I was saying earlier, we were able to get out and do some things this week. So really just excited, really happy with where things are at, from a playability perspective. And we're really starting to see some of that definition as things are, growing out and we're really trying to starting to get into the growing season. So it's an exciting time. Greens are in great shape. So if you're looking to play over the weekend, you can call us 662-895-3530. Visit us at timbertrustgolf.com. And just, should be a great weekend. I know we kind of got a little bit of hit and miss here and there, but overall the temperatures look good. And I think you should be able to get out there and play golf. I don't see it being a complete and utter washout through the weekend. So should be a lot of fun. Obviously the long weekend, just normal stuff on Monday for us from a tee time perspective. So, no real events or anything. So if you're looking to play golf on Monday with everybody being off, should be a great time to be able to come out and visit. So again, come on down to North Mississippi, visit us, Timber Trust Golf, and we look forward to seeing everybody.
Great stuff,
John. Enjoy the long weekend. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
Really fun.
All right, guys. All right, take care. Y'all enjoy Memorial Day. All right, thanks, fellas.
Thank you, John, going with us every week talking golf from Timber Trust down in Olive Branch. The future PGAs, and this was set long before anything last week, whether it was good or bad. Next year, Quail Hollow in Charlotte. The regular tour stop is the week before there, but I'm sure that will be moved next year to Wilmington, I think. It won't be back-to-back weeks at Quail. 2026, right outside of Philadelphia at Aronimink Golf Club. 27, PGA Frisco. PGA of America owns it. It will be there in 27. 28, Olympic Club in San Francisco. 29, Baltusrol. 30, Congressional. 31, Kiowa. And even 2034 booked back at Frisco, Texas.
Wow, how about that?
Bryant, you and Lee Aldwin have to tell me some sweet day all about what happened in 2034.
Oh, geez, yeah. That's
I don't think I'm going to make it.
A long time planning out for sure.
So, booked every year through 31, 32 and 33 open, and booked again for 34, and that has nothing to do with what happened last week.
No, not at all. They book far in advance. Well, let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, got some baseball to talk about. Cardinals playing better after their rain delay. We'll also talk about some other things across the world of Major League Baseball. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Anticipation is building for Memphis football.
3, 2, 1, that's your winner!
With a cast of returning stars ready for the big stage.
Caught! Rock Taylor! Touchdown Tigers!
The momentum for Memphis football is on the rise.
Harrigan into the end zone. Tiger touchdown. He just wouldn't be denied.
It's time to pounce. So purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGo.com.
Judge Napolitano here. Can you believe the chaos we're facing today? Government is out of control, spending is out of control, and the dollar is dying. It's just a matter of time until digital money replaces cash. It's coming fast. So you need to get educated in other ways to invest and preserve the wealth you already have. Start now by calling Lear Capital at 800-927-2400. Get their free report, The Tipping Point. Learn what rising debt and a digital dollar could mean for your retirement. Do what I did. Buy gold from Lear Capital to protect your wealth. Over 25 years experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Lear is whom I trust when I buy gold. Get the report and up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. Call 800-927-2400. That's 800-927-2400. 800-927-2400.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin and crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close, love. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Select a request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
It's time to get to Gossett Kia on the Pike so Bobby J can put you in your new Kia today. Want summer fun and 41 MPG? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. Get extra room and extra fun with 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $357 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease, plus 0% APR for 48 months available on the all-new Kia EV9. And peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Include all rebates and incentives. Price excludes $695 PF. Lease includes PF $695, $650 acquisition fee, EV6, P5610964, MSRP $50,200, Telluride RG $510,849, MSRP $38,305, Forte LXS RE $781,69, MSRP $21,820. Plus finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. And don't look now, but the Cardinals with a 5-3 lead over the Orioles. Came back from that rain delay. They've been playing much better. Brett, you didn't tell me how the Cardinals, we talked during a break earlier that the Cardinals had the lead. I was not watching it. You did not tell me how they got the lead. Baltimore just throwing the ball all around the diamond and led to a couple runs.
Put the ball in play.
That's right.
Then Little League may break out.
And it sure did on that play. Now 5-3, bottom of the eighth. Things are looking good for the Cardinals. Don't call it a win streak, Brett.
2 outs in the bottom of the eighth, and the Cardinals will send out. I wonder who they'll send out because they had the great reliever Ryan Helsley go in the first game. Notch his 15th save. That's tied with the Cleveland closer for most saves in all of baseball. But I don't know if they can put him back out there after he just pitched 4 hours ago.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be. I think that'd
We're getting
be
ready to
tough.
find out.
We sure are. But already a lot of finals in Major League Baseball today. We've got the Twins over the Nationals, Guardians over the Mets, Angels over the Astros, the Royals over the Tigers, and in a game that I was really intrigued about with Reagan's going for Kansas City, Skubal, who one of my favorite pitchers in Major League Baseball, going for Detroit, but the Royals with an 8-3 win over the Tigers. Royals now 32-19 on the season.
Yeah, when we completely undersold that weeks ago when we said Kansas City a more talented roster right now than the Cardinals. It's infinitely more talented, and we'll see if they can hang around as the year rolls on. A lot of young players at a critical time for baseball in Kansas City.
No, you're absolutely
with the stadium
right.
issue.
Yeah, no, you're right about that, and I'm still kind of interested to see what happens with them, what this Royals team does, because you look back, Detroit. Not a great team. I like watching Detroit play, but they're not world beaters. Swept Oakland. Oakland's kind of back on that losing streak. They've not been playing well. Seattle, they dropped 2 against Seattle after winning 3 against the Angels. Angels aren't very good. So, I want to see this schedule gets a little tougher. They've, got to go to Tampa Bay this weekend and then to Minnesota right after that. I'm curious to see what they look like in these two series.
What do you think the crowd will be like tonight at Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, man.
For the 20 and 30 A's on the way out of town against the 15-win, 32-loss Rockies?
Not very good at all. I think it's going to be one of those games where you turn the game on and they do one of those wide shots of the Coliseum, and you go, man, is there anybody at that game?
It will feel like a pretty good pitching matchup.
Sure.
Gomber for the Rockies against Spence for the A's. The best pitching matchup of the night, though, I think, is in Los Angeles late with Tyler Glasnow. All 6'8" of him on the mound for the Dodgers, 33-18 Dodgers at home against the D-backs.
Yeah, that should be a good game, and Glasnow's been great for the Dodgers so far, and it's certainly worked out for them against a D-backs team that's still trying to figure out this season out, but that should be a fun one late tonight.
He's kind of a right-handed version of Chris Sale, isn't he? The arm angles and all the legs and arms, it's like he's in your lap, too, coming off the mound with that frame.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. A really good comparison. I like that a lot, but, man, he's been awesome this year. Another pitching matchup that I can't wait to watch tonight, Seattle Mariners. 2 in a row against the red-hot Yankees tonight.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx, on the road. Nestor Cortez for the Yankees and Bryce Miller for the Mariners. That should be a really good pitching matchup tonight.
I think, I'm trying to remember who's Scott Cervase. I think he was with the Cubs one time in a pretty big Cardinal Cub, Donnie Brook. I
really?
Think I think he was. I think so. I know. I'm pretty sure he was a catcher. But the Cardinals, in their best stretch over the last 2 seasons, right now,
it feels like it.
It does. I mean, it just hadn't been many puffy Cardinal moments.
No, not at all. Not.
I got them turned around.
Well, Brett, I give you all the credit. The credit,
I'll take it.
The credit I was looking for in our last segment during Golf Talk, which. Not a fan of the way John handled that. I did not think he handled that well. Didn't handle it with grace.
He went scoreboard, but
he did
accurately.
He did. I tried to go scoreboard with back-to-back winners, but he went scoreboard with the complete lead. So I couldn't argue with that.
As we get so puffy about the Cardinals leadoff runner on for the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, now we all hold our breath and wait and see what happens. I don't like that. I think, anytime you give Baltimore an inch, they could easily go out there and have a, 11-hit inning or something like this, something just crazy where they, score 5 or 6 runs. So that never makes me feel good.
No, Baltimore's a really good team, and that American League East, it is holding up again to be just really brutal. But this weekend when the Cardinals play the Cubs, I'm thinking, only the series against Milwaukee, only time the Cardinals have played a Central Division team? Is that right?
Say that again?
I don't think they've played anybody from the National League Central this year except for Milwaukee. Is that right?
I think you're right.
I think so.
I tried to buy myself some time there by getting you to say the question again, but I think you're right.
And that's the new scheduling. You don't see the division rivals as much, so it's hard to make up ground.
Yeah, I'm looking back. And,
no, I did too. It's accurate.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
I don't think I even realized that until you just brought that up.
South Carolina and Arkansas went final down at Hoover. Arkansas lost. They don't mind. One more, they get to go home and sit and watch selection Monday, next Monday, Memorial Day, and find out who they opened the regionals against at home at Baum-Walker Stadium. And if they win, they will host a super regional.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're in a great position right now, and I think you're right. We're seeing a lot of teams. I mentioned it earlier, but you're seeing a lot of teams just kind of going out there and I think want to win, but, also not in scramble mode if they go down early or something. If they lose, they lose. It's whatever, because you look at the way college baseball's postseason is set up with the regional hosts, a lot of these teams that are at the top of these rankings, they're locked in as hosting, and so they feel pretty good about it, and I don't know how much work there is to be done. They feel comfortable, and they go out there and say whatever, and get ready for next week when it really matters.
Unless Ryan Helsley is dead, they need to get him in, because whoever's pitching,
get him up and running.
Hadn't got it past anybody for the Orioles. First and third, nobody out in the ninth. Cardinals 5-3 in Hoover, and it always is, because next week is when, or this weekend rather, that a lot of the SEC honchos head to Destin for meetings, and tons of TV times always come out of that. A week from tomorrow, we'll have almost the entire September schedule for just about everybody around college football, and even some dates announced. Today you had the announcement of the Fox Friday night primetime schedule, 13 games on Friday nights this year. Look, long ago, the NFL took over Thursday night. I'm sorry for high school football fans across the country, across the Big Ten area, it's Ohio and Western Pennsylvania and areas we talk about all the time as being, heart of high school football too. But college football is getting ready to be played in abundance on Fridays.
Yeah, we knew it was coming, and we've kind of talked about it a lot, but I think it's going to come, and it's going to come fast. Like you said with that Fox announcement today, you've got that, and I think it's just going to keep on flowing, and, before long, you're going to have some big-time games on Friday nights, and, kind of like the NFL said to college with Thursday nights, and now, Saturday games, and even on the college football playoff date, NFL saying, we don't care, we're going to play these games, kind of college saying the same thing of, we're going to play these games on Friday nights.
And, Bryant, now in college with so many coaches, so many administrators saying that we are basically pro football, then why lose that pretense around, well, we can't do that to high school, because the NFL's never cared whenever they play. Now, they by law, they can't play on Friday nights during certain parts of the fall, and can't play on Saturday until a certain date. But you get that full release today from Fox on Friday night, and you're going to have first game, Arizona at Kansas State, Illinois at Nebraska week 2. Just some great games. Michigan State at Oregon on Friday night, October 4th. You do see one weekend there that they're taking off, and that's when Fox will have the World Series. In the SEC world, in a lot of these smaller SEC, bucolic little towns, you've had the old canard of people saying, well, it's too big an interruption to school. Well, if you're pro football, how worried about school are you?
Well, that's a good point. That's a great point.
The SEC's going to have to match with some Friday games.
I think you're right.
Maybe not this year.
No,
I don't think it will be this year. But you're going to have to see. We also get late news today on ESPN will sublicense a lot of the playoff games to TBS in the future, so we won't have that great comparison on that Saturday. Well, we're still going to have network versus cable, NFL against. We thought it was going to be against ESPN, but now it's going to be NFL against TBS.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting. But I didn't love the sound of it when I saw that earlier today. But I guess it is what it is. But I don't know. We'll see. But I do love all the news we're getting for college football. It's a lot of fun. These lists are great. The scheduling news is great. I love them all coming together. And before we know
I do too. And we're going to get a mountain of stuff. I think starting tomorrow. In Egg Bowl world, this is what I have. I don't think, watch it break on Twitter in 2 seconds. It's back on Thanksgiving night. From what I'm told, it's not going to be on Thanksgiving night.
Oh, wow.
It will either be Friday or Saturday with all indications right now. It's not permanent, but this is what I'm told. It's not set in stone, rather, that it looks like a Friday afternoon, 4:30, 5-ish early evening start for Egg Bowl this year.
Interesting. Well, that would certainly be different and a lot of differences in college
It's been
football.
day after Thanksgiving before, but
Yeah.
it was first game of the day.
Right.
It was in the 11:30 time slot in back-to-back years in 07, 08, 07 in Starkville, 08 in Oxford. To get it in that window, I think from what I was told, they want something after Arkansas, Mizzou, before Florida State, maybe on Friday night.
Interesting.
Or even A&M, Texas on Friday night.
What do you think of that time slot? Because like you just mentioned, you just threw out 3 games.
I love it.
Friday we have marquee games all day.
I love Thanksgiving, and,
Sure.
and I'm the only one that still does.
Sure.
Most people can't stand it. The visitor doesn't mind it as much as the home team in Egg Bowl world, because it's such a disruption to family stuff.
Sure, yeah.
You know, but then if you're the visitor, okay, I'm gonna crush the day, and I'm headed to Starkville. I'm headed to Oxford.
Right.
It doesn't bother me because I'm not that big of Thanksgiving Day celebrant anymore. So I don't mind having football, but I don't want to be a hog. I know it interrupts for a lot of people, but I'm not setting the times.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I don't think it'd be a big deal if they moved it to Friday, or it'd be great. I mean, I think it would be interesting if they did a Friday afternoon.
And
see how that worked out.
I would like it on Friday.
Sure.
That way you could have the full tailgate day.
Sure.
And then 5-ish, 6-ish kick if indeed that's
man.
what time it is.
Oh, Brett. Now you've got me thinking of that 2-day span of somebody. All the Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then start your morning tailgating. I mean, what a 2 days for somebody.
Well, it could be, and then for a lot of people, if you wanted to, you could head off to a game on Saturday.
Sure, yeah, that'd be a great weekend. Wow. So, a lot of news coming out. And before we know it, we talked about it with Brent yesterday, but we're going to have magazines before too much longer, and that will definitely be a lot of
seeing
fun.
people posting newsstands.
Really?
Of mag. I got to get to Novel tomorrow.
I was about to say, I'm going to have to start going around and seeing if I can find one, because I'd love to get my hands on one. Well, let's go ahead and get
Cardinals
to
win 5-4.
Winner, how about that? I was going to bring that. I meant to bring that up. I saw the last out. Double play earlier in that, a wild double play, then get the last out. So another win for the Cardinals. Biggest series of the last 2 years, Brett.
Try-la. The Cardinals are coming.
Oh, how about that? Well, let's get to a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Are you looking for a better way to sell farm, construction, or fleet equipment? Purple Wave Auction takes the hassle out of selling heavy equipment. Our experienced auction professionals make the entire process easy, and we'll market each asset not just to our enormous equipment buying community, but specifically to the right bidders who are eager to purchase your specific assets. We'll handle the paperwork and payments so you can get back to running your business. Join the growing list of happy sellers who don't just sell but succeed with Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Memorial Day weekend is coming, which means many folks will be grilling. And if you're firing up the grill this weekend or any weekend, there's one place to go for everything you need: Memphis Barbecue Supply. You need charcoal? They have 10 different brands of either lump or briquette charcoal. Pellets? How about over 2 tons in stock? 12 different flavors and blends. Looking for wood for smoking? Memphis Barbecue Supply has 9 different types of wood in chips, chunks, mini logs, and logs. You can even mix and match your woods from their bins of loose chunks. Whatever it is that you're grilling, steaks, ribs, burgers, pork butts, you name it, they have over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and raw spices to make sure your food tastes great. If you have any questions, they have award-winning pitmasters on staff that can help ensure that your cook will be the best ever. Memphis Barbecue Supply, 7041 Stage Road, or online, mbbqsupply.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
One of the key things that separates Genesis Diamonds from other jewelry stores is nobody's paid on commission. Vice President Ina Avraham says Genesis Diamond experts are never incentivized to get you to spend more or to buy something that's not in your budget.
Doesn't matter how much you spend. If you spend $500 or $50,000, their main focus is finding the perfect engagement ring or piece of jewelry with no pressure or sales tactics.
So when you walk into Genesis Diamonds, you can relax, take your time, get the education you deserve, and make a decision that's best for you, not the salesperson.
They can trust us. It's a huge, huge difference when you know that that person is just going to focus on what I want, what I am looking for, not what they want to sell.
No pressure, no risk, no pricing games, no nonsense. At Genesis, it's about making you happy.
It's for life. It's a customer for life. It's a relationship for life.
Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
I am Ina Avraham, and my accent is always on value.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, you built up your big number earlier, so I'd like you to go first.
I can deliver
because I would
like
like to hear it. I'm sure I should have gone first so I don't get just completely crushed.
No, it's not crushing you.
Okay.
It's just coming through.
All right.
My big number, I said it was 6. Luka Doncic right now has 11,470 career points with the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
That puts him only 20,000 behind Dirk Nowitzki for number 1 all-time in Mavericks history, but that places him already in his young career at 6th in scoring all-time for the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, number 1 scorer all-time is Kevin Garnett. He has about 20,000 career points. Anthony Edwards already with 6,920 career points, which places him as 6th all-time in Timberwolves history behind Kevin Garnett. Look, they both got a long way to go to be the number 1 players in team history. It's Dirk for Dallas, it's KG for Minnesota, but they're both already, and they hadn't been in the NBA 10 minutes.
Wow.
They're already 6th in all-time scoring for both franchises.
That's incredible. I mean, how in the world did you stumble upon that? I mean, that is unbelievable.
It was early this morning looking at just deep at basketball ref.
Wow. That is that's crazy. I can't believe that. Wow. I'm shocked. I don't even know what to say.
I say neither break.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because now with the money and maybe the Lakers or the Knicks come calling. Kevin Garnett, he left Minnesota. Dirk never did Dallas.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, with Anthony Edwards, I would not be surprised at all if he at some point ends up leaving Minnesota.
Dirk at 31,000.
It's crazy. It's incredible.
I mean, Luka's 20 behind.
That's a great big number. That might be big number of the year. That's unbelievable. don't even want to go now. But I will.
Go right ahead.
I will. My big number today is 10, so only a couple more higher than yours. Last night, Ranger Suarez took the mound for the Phillies, and he has been lights out this season. Ranger Suarez is the only MLB pitcher to go undefeated with a sub 1.50 ERA and 65 or more strikeouts over his first 10 appearances of a season, and that he's the only MLB pitcher to do that since ERA became an official stat in both leagues in 1913.
That's whoa! You go back to 1913 with the Nugget.
1913 is what this big number is saying.
Good stuff.
So yeah, really, really good stuff from Ranger Suarez on the mound. He's been unbelievable. That Phillies team's been really, really good. One of the best teams in Major League Baseball, and I think kind of a surprise to a lot of people. But he has been a big part of that pitching staff this year.
8-2 in the last 10 for the Cardinals.
Brett, I mean, I give you all the credit. I really
I'll take it.
I have to.
I really think I deserve a lot of credit.
I think you do. I mean, it's incredible.
I didn't pitch a ball or have it at bat. And
that's right.
Really, all I did is eat and visit.
I think all of that is overrated. I think what you did.
I think Lars Nootbaar's catch had a lot to do with it today.
You're getting down to a lot of the nitty gritty, Brett. I think a lot of it has to do with
Cardinals Cubs this weekend at Busch Stadium.
A big one. And I saw the video or the commercials today. For Joe Buck going to join the broadcast on Friday night. They're running commercials for it now, so that will be
and yesterday I made a mistake. I talked about two sons of. Chip is grandson of Harry Carey.
Right.
His dad is Skip Carey.
Sure.
And Joe Buck's dad is Jack.
Of course. So that's going to be a lot of fun on Friday, and even more excitement after this week and the wins that have come for the Cardinals. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour, get to a break. When we come back to start our 5 o'clock hour, we're talking NBA with Rob Fisher.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, SIG, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park. We got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand-dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Get ready because the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event is on, and now is the best time to buy. You want 43 MPG Highway? We Gossett in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $18,960 or $279 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. We Gossett, $27,350 or $399 per month. And your summer adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett, $29,865 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RHFO 9083, MSRP 19460, Sport RUO 110 764, MSRP 28070, Outlander RZO 53896, MSRP 30895, PF 695, acquisition fee 595, 15 cents excess mileage, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid to end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's cool cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or cool cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Certain areas are seeing some this weather that went through a little bit earlier. Again, give yourself extra time. It's still running a little bit heavy over here. 55 north between Macklemore and South Parkway. That's what we're checking out live. There's still some volume over here, of course, on 240, sometimes east and westbound. Around Poplar, mostly eastbound at this point. Still slow at times on 40 west there at 269. Weather-related delays caused that earlier, coming in from Fayette County into Shelby County on 40 going westbound. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our 5 o'clock hour. And joining us to talk the NBA, Rob Fisher from Grind City Media and all of the Grizzlies television broadcasts. He joins us now on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Rob, thanks so much for joining us. I want to talk a lot of NBA playoffs, but I got to start with the news earlier this week that Gigi Jackson, the young rookie for the Grizzlies, was named to the all-rookie second team this week. Huge honors for him being a second-round guy. What did you make of that? What did you make of his first year with the Grizzlies?
Well, I mean, it was great. I mean, not only was it a discovery of Gigi Jackson and being able to find that out if you go through a healthy season, you probably wouldn't have seen Gigi Jackson play. Mm-hmm. So, but then for him to take advantage of the opportunity the way that he did was excellent, and for him to put up the numbers he did, I think surprised all of us in a way that. We didn't know. We didn't know, and I mean, nobody had that sort of expectation heading into the season, and and now all of a sudden the expectations are so high, and you asked me a couple of weeks ago about a comp, and I can't even do it because you don't know. The ceiling is so high. I think for Gigi Jackson, and and you don't want to go overboard, but you don't want to underestimate him either because of what he's already shown. So I think it was probably the highlight of the season. At least one of the top 2-3 highlights of the season was just G.G. Jackson and his emergence and knowing what he can do for the team going forward. I was surprised he got the honor just because I didn't think he played enough games, but obviously the impact he showed in the short amount of time that he played was impactful for those voting on the all-rookie teams.
So, Rob, you're very nicely saying if somebody did go full comp and said Kawhi Leonard, that would be going overboard?
Sure, that's a good one.
Okay.
But
that's mine.
But why couldn't it even be better than that?
Yeah, why not? Next year, everything goes pretty swimmingly. Everything goes somewhat normal. Where is he in the rotation? What number?
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends. It depends on what moves are made. I mean, if the Grizzlies don't go out and get a starting big, well, he could technically be in the starting lineup. And I guess if not that, you would expect that he would be on your second unit and he'd be one of your big time scorers on the second unit.
Pretty strong team, isn't it?
Very strong team. That was my fear of the team going into the last couple of seasons, especially this last year. In this last year, it's hard to really say, boy, I was right, considering, your bench guys were starters for most of the season this year. But I thought you really needed to improve from 7 to 12 needed to be better. And I don't think it was good enough. Well, you're better now. I mean, just G.G. Jackson, Vince Williams, heck, I'll even throw Scottie Pippen Jr. in there. Mm-hmm. Those three guys are better than what you had 7 through 12 last year going into the season.
Yeah.
Better. So, yeah, I think it's very exciting. It's one of the reasons why you're excited. Now, are there still a couple of pieces you'd like to add? Sure. But, even if you add pieces and guys fall down that pecking order, well, great. Again, 7 through 12 is going to be a lot better, and it needs to be better. And we're seeing that in the playoffs, how important depth is for these teams. And you look at a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I think a big reason why they're here in the Final Four is because they're, I believe, the deepest team in the NBA. And we've talked about it here before, the deepest team in the playoffs. And look how far that's taking them right now. You look at the New York Knicks and their lack of depth, and it really came back to hurt them. You look at the Boston Celtics and their lack of depth. Well, it really showed last night. So I think depth is certainly so important. And we remember the most dangerous of these Grizzlies teams the last few years is the team that had better depth, had Kyle Anderson, had DeAnthony Melton. So, it's very important for the success of a team. And I think, especially if you want to take yourself seriously and call yourself a contender, if you're just, you want a good team and you want to make the playoffs and that's all fine and dandy, well, maybe it's not as important. But if you want to be a true contender and contend for a championship, you better have the depth. And I think the Grizzlies have had a couple of upgrades by it just fall in their lap really last season because of the disaster last season was.
Yeah. Rob, we've seen the reports and rumors that there are going to be some changes made to Taylor Jenkins' coaching staff. What kind of changes do you think we could see, and what do you want to see out of a new assistant that joins this franchise?
I don't know. I mean, so much of that is based on coach comfortability.
Right.
Who are people that he believes can help what he's trying to do? Who are guys that can help what, his plan is? Who are they? I don't know who those people are. But I think a lot of that goes into it. More getting your own guys and being comfortable. I think is the most important thing for coaching moves. And it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see what direction they go there. And I hate to lose any of these coaches because they're all terrific people, and they've all done things well in what they're doing with the organization and what they've done in the past. So you hate to see anybody go, but it's about coach comfort and trying to put the best staff together, the best team together, and this team wants to win. This team wants to win a championship. They don't want to just troll along in the playoffs. They want to win a championship, and if they feel different coaches can lead to that and help another step in that direction, well, they're going to do it. And I guess at least according to the reports, that is the case.
Rob, I think the Minnesota success getting to the Western Conference Finals and Oklahoma City from last year to this year, their success, I think that portends well for the Grizzlies. I mean, next year, that could be us.
Well, no doubt about it. And you have, two new teams in the Western Conference Finals. And while some may look at that and say, man, the West is just loaded, these different teams, I look at it like there's parity in the West. And I think there are a lot of good teams. You played absolutely. You played those series over again. Denver possibly could win. Oklahoma City possibly could win. So, I mean, I think right there you have four teams that you say are contenders for the Western Conference, and it's the Grizzlies. While people will say, and they'll say it again this offseason, and I've told you guys that I've heard it for the last 3 years, and it drives me crazy. The West is a gauntlet. The West is loaded. Oh, the poor Grizzlies. I mean, how are the Grizzlies going to contend? The Grizzlies were the 2 straight years. They went through last year, which was a disaster year. This year, their team, you expect, at least at this point, is going to be better than it was to start last year and better than it was to finish last year. And I'm talking about if the team was healthy last year. They're going to be better, even better than that this year. And if that's the case, why can't they be in that mix? I mean, everybody wants to talk about how everybody else gets better, but no one ever wants to say that we got better. So, that talk needs to stop. The Grizzlies, my expectation this year, hey, the West might be a gauntlet, but my expectation doesn't drop to say, well, hope you at least make the play-in. Hell no. Mm-hmm. I don't even think your expectation is going to I don't think your expectation is going to be, well, hopefully we're top 6 and can avoid the play-in.
Yeah, let's don't reduce goals. Let's raise them, if anything. Rob, you're talking about replaying the whole Western Conference playoffs. We enjoyed it because of the whole class warfare thing with the Lakers and everything and LeBron. We enjoyed it. That 4-1 series, you replay that one, and Denver may not come out with a 4-1 win.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that shows – and really, if you just look at the standings this year and the number of wins the teams had, I mean, teams down at 6, still had a really successful season as far as wins were concerned. I mean, Frank Vogel, according to Phoenix, might be the worst coach ever because they completely underachieved. They didn't have that bad of a regular season. It wasn't that terrible. It was just the postseason was a disaster, going out in 4 straight games. And that's what that team was built for, was the postseason. So it wasn't like that was a disaster. And again, I think for the Grizzlies and the Lakers, being a play-in team and the amount of wins that they had, stats, I heard you talk about it earlier in the show. What did you have the Grizzlies, 44 wins?
Yes.
What would that have gotten them?
This year that would have been about a 7. Is
that right?
Is that right? Let me look.
Let me look. I'm looking it up.
I'm looking too.
Let's see. 44 wins would have gotten them outside.
It sure would have. Wow. Way outside. Two outside.
So
wow.
You better shoot higher next year.
Sure better. Well, I had 13. I had 13 and 12 without John.
Well, yeah.
And we came up just a little shy.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. So the West is very difficult, but why can't the Grizzlies be a part of that? If the Grizzlies are better too, and and you look at the three core players that they have, I mean, that's as good as any three in the league. So why shouldn't they be a top 4 team?
Boy, preseason picks are really humbling, aren't they, Rob?
Man.
Aren't you glad you don't have to do that on everything again?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, man. Well, Rob, looking at the West, now we're down to Minnesota and Dallas. Both teams had real fights in their last round. Dallas with OKC, and then Minnesota, that comeback, just unbelievable watching them in Denver get that win in Game 7. What do you expect to see in this series, and how does this Dallas team answer for this Minnesota defense that seems to be one of the stories of this playoff?
Yeah, Minnesota's defense, Minnesota's depth, Minnesota's size. You know, Minnesota's athleticism. They bring a lot of things that a lot of teams don't have. Now, Dallas has played pretty good with their size. So, guys Gafford and Lively have played really well, even with Cleaver out. They've played well, and they've done a nice job. You know, the problem with this series, I think, is that Dallas has, two of the three best players on the floor at all times with Luka and Kyrie. So how's that next group going to be? Because for Dallas, while I went into the playoffs thinking Dallas wouldn't survive because it was just two guys, well, they've gotten the performances from the guys that I mentioned, but they've also got it from P.J. Washington, who's been terrific. They get it from Derek Jones, who's been great. So they're getting it from the other guys, and those guys are really making plays. Now, Minnesota's others have been great. They just need to continue to play that way. And Dallas's guys, they're going to have to continue to play that way, which is really a step up for them. So I still like Minnesota. I just think Minnesota's depth is just too good because that depth is played so well. So I like Minnesota in the series, but Dallas, if their others play as well as they have been so far this postseason, they got a real shot because I think they've played more team basketball than I expected this postseason, and it hasn't just been Luka and Kyrie. They had a game where Kyrie scored 9 points and they won.
Yeah.
It's because Kyrie had 13 assists. Why? Because other guys were knocking out shots. So they got the production from their other guys, and I think that's what's going to be so important because we know what those top guys can do. It's what everybody else can do, and I think it's going to be a good series. I'm looking forward to it.
This year, the Mavericks were 1-3 against the Timberwolves. They wrapped up their 4 games. They played the first of 4 right before Christmas on 12/14, the second of 4 right after Christmas on 12/28, and then in the new calendar year, they played game number 3 on January 7th, and the 4th and final game on January 31st. So Minnesota's not even faced Dallas with this new cast of characters that they dealt for around the trade deadline.
Yeah, that's interesting. In Dallas, I don't know if it took off right away, but it's been very good lately. And they're playing their best basketball at the right time, at the best time of year to be doing it. So, it'll be a challenge for Minnesota, and because of the guys that are playing with size for Dallas, now Minnesota has to compensate for that, which they do really well, but they're going to have to. It's going to be a little bit different of a matchup with the Mavericks than what they saw in the regular season. But I just think Minnesota needs to do what they do, and I think they'll be fine. I just love the way that they're playing, and we talk about the Dallas Mavericks having a game where Kyrie didn't score a lot. Well, how about in Game 7 when Anthony Edwards wasn't doing anything offensively? And they were still right there in that game. And then all of a sudden he started having he started having a run himself, and things started going really well for him, and they're able to pull off the win. But his teammates were able to hold it off for him until he was able to go. I think if you look at one guy from Minnesota that maybe, keep an eye on this series, it could be a factor. Well, as I said before, Kyrie and Luka are two of the best 3 on the floor at any time, with Anthony Edwards being the other one. Well, a guy who needs to be that 4th guy is Karl Anthony Towns. He's got to be number 4. He's got to stay on the floor. He can't get in foul trouble. he can't just hang out behind the 3-point line. He's got to get to the basket. He's got to attack. He's done it so well this season, and he's got to do it in this series. I think he's a huge X factor for Minnesota.
Rob, if you're at home right now, are you watching Cardinal post game on the Cardinal Network?
It's on, yes.
Well, it's in the league of things I won't ever be able to unsee. They're interviewing Kyle Gibson in front of his locker, and I guess he's a big Indiana Pacers fan, and he has on a Pacers jersey with guns out, and it looks like me wearing my John Conchar jersey. It's things I can't unsee. It's not a good look.
Got to flip it over.
Well, as we talked about many times, if you're a dude wearing a basketball jersey, just put some sleeves on underneath it.
You go some sleeves, yeah.
I mean, even if you got the guns, then you just kind of look like a tool.
More
but if you don't have the guns, you look terrible.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, so there's your options: tool or terrible.
and not only that, he's wearing an Indiana Pacers jersey that has an Adidas logo on it. It's about 15 years old.
It sure is. That looks like Rick Smits.
I missed it. I got over there too late.
It might be a Smith's jersey. Yeah, I'd like to know which one it was.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, don't look now. 8-2 in the last 10 for the Birds.
Well, ever since Ollie Marmol lost his mind, where was that? Where were they?
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, that's right. Ever since he lost his mind, they broke a horrible stretch against Milwaukee. They've won 3 straight series in a row. They just sweep the Baltimore Orioles, one of the best teams in all of Major League Baseball. And now they got the Cubbies coming in town. And then Marmol got thrown out again today. They come from behind, and they get the win. So it's all the Ollie Marmol sparking the team to this unbelievable stretch that they're on right now.
Now, Rob, you know when I'm in St. Louis, especially with Mike Claiborne, I always play. I'm friends with Fish.
Right.
And it's the great greeting. I mean,
does it work?
It's the magic words in St. Louis.
That's awesome.
Well, good. I'm glad it works. It's a lot better than if somebody said who.
Yeah, have this man removed.
Oh man, yeah, Rob. I give Brett credit for the turnaround for the Cardinals after his trip over the weekend. I mean, man, they've been looking good.
That's true. You got to see the Cardinals beat the Orioles as well, which is
the Red Sox.
I mean, what a series! The Red Sox. That's right. You got to see the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't think Red Sox are very good.
Yeah.
Devers is about all they have.
They're not, but the Cardinals are worse.
That's right. I mean, I looked up
2 out of 3 was an achievement.
I looked up one night, and there was people in that lineup. I thought, I've seen them for $5 at Autos on Park a lot.
Yikes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so, hey, I was asked the other day, on my podcast, Infield Fly, we talk baseball. And I was asked, what's good about the Cardinals? I was like, their hitting's going really well right now. And then I was asked, well, what's bad about the Cardinals right now? And I didn't have an answer. I mean, the things that we've complained about, the poor fundamentals, the poor defense, the poor execution, just the poor hitting, all of those things have gone right here in the last 10 games. Yeah. So it's been fun to see. I'm not convinced by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been fun to see them actually compete and win some games.
Rob, last week I asked you, or maybe Brian and I were talking, would the Nuggets become the evil empire like Golden State became? It was our dialogue, and I invoked you that how at one time how we so loved Golden State. We loved Draymond's hustle and grit and how he played. We loved Steph. We loved Clay. I think we even liked Iguodala at one time before he was so ugly to us here. We may not have to worry about Denver being the evil empire. Was that a one-offer last year?
I don't think so. I mean, I think, again, there are just a lot of teams that can contend and a lot of teams that can win out of the Western Conference. A lot of teams that are really close.
Yeah.
Because if Denver wins that Game 7, they're the favorite against Dallas when they are, and probably the favorite against Boston. So they could be repeating. But one bad minute, and all of a sudden Minnesota's there and Denver's not. So, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that they look at their team and think this is what we need to do because we've got to get better. I think they're just fine the way they are and can come back and can contend and try and win a championship again next year. So I don't think we're done with Denver by any stretch. I don't think this was this run is over because they got knocked off by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's just a matter of, play the series again. They could have won it. So they're still right there. And, disappointing end of the season for them. But, they'll be one of the favorites going into next season before the season even begins.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Well, Rob, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Go Rangers!
You got it.
Yeah, go Rangers. Big
well,
game
it's
tonight.
against my Panthers, though.
Oh, yeah, we know how big of a Panthers fan you are.
Okay.
I go way back with the Florida Panthers, right?
I know. Your team. I'm going
three
Rangers
days.
and Oilers. Rangers and Oilers are my pick. So.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And hey, good pick on Bryson DeChambeau, too.
Yeah.
Lee Odwin had him in our picks. That was a good pick. He all but won.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm counting it as a win on
you should.
because he was the leader in the clubhouse.
And the highest finisher for Liv, so he won.
Sure.
There you go.
We count it. That's how I got to tell John going that because he knows how you like to change the rules on golf picks.
Tell Going I won the picks this week.
I will. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, guys.
You got it. Rob Fisher with us every week from the Grizzlies Network, talking the NBA with us, also Grind City Media and his podcasts, including his baseball podcast and everything that he's doing and doing so well. Everybody at All-Star Chevrolet wants us all to remember this weekend in commemoration of Memorial Day this weekend. Everybody who served and made the ultimate sacrifice serving our great country and their families. As Memorial Day closes in, our friends at All-Star always want to make that point around these special times. And at All-Star Chevrolet, first exit into Mississippi on Kraft Goodman Road, you're there on Highway 78, and that's where you can start the summer fun. Get ready for summer with a Silverado, a Tahoe, or Suburban. Get up to 30 miles per gallon with your new All-Star Chevy Equinox or Trailblazer, financing down to 1.9. No payments for a full 90 days. The rest of the summer, no payment. All-Star Chevy with a great deal on a new 24 Blazer EV. Get charged up for the 36-month lease on the Blazer EV at just $369 a month, only $2,500 down in the usual tax, title, and license. For details, ask any sales consultant at All-Star, where you can see all the Silverados, discounts up to $10,500 and 1.9 financing. College students, college grads, military, teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, all an instant extra $500 bonus back. Together, let's drive, and together, let's enjoy the summer, and start it at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, let's get to a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Any day is a good day to sell your home. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Benstorff Realtors, but the absolute best days to sell your home are those days that end with a Y. That's right. Numerous scientific studies, and my friend Kevin, who is also a wine connoisseur, have shown that if you want to sell your home, make sure and use my highly successful strategic marketing program and list on the day ending in a Y. Now think about it. Who would be foolish enough to not trust science and a wine connoisseur? Seriously, changes are happening in the real estate industry, and it's not just that sellers don't know the answers, they don't know the questions. That's why I'm here. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling, I always tell people to talk to 2 to 3 experienced real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say, when you want the job done, you call Shell Done. Call me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Remember, memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Are you looking for a better way to sell farm, construction, or fleet equipment? Purple Wave Auction takes the hassle out of selling heavy equipment. Our experienced auction professionals make the entire process easy, and we'll market each asset not just to our enormous equipment buying community, but specifically to the right bidders who are eager to purchase your specific assets. We'll handle the paperwork and payments so you can get back to running your business. Join the growing list of happy sellers who don't just sell but succeed with Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Hey, Mid-South, I've got Marty McNade getting back to the past on these prices at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
This is heavy, Doc. I mean, Randy. Let's go with 42 MPG Highway and a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for $249 a month. Or take your pick from a 2024 Tiguan S or 2024 Taos SE for only $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNade! You got it going on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Let me hit those deals again. 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE, $249 a month, or take your pick. 2024 Tiguan S or Taos SE, $279.28 a month.
Your future is whatever you make of it, Randy, so let us help you make your future down here at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Jetta number RMO 46526, MSRP 26,996. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31,363. Taos RM 11174, MSRP 31,414. Includes all credit and incentives. PF 695. Excludes DTL. See dealer for complete details with approved credit dealer stock only. Offer expires into the month.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Memorial Day weekend is coming, which means many folks will be grilling. And if you're firing up the grill this weekend or any weekend, there's one place to go for everything you need: Memphis Barbecue Supply. You need charcoal? They have 10 different brands of either lump or briquette charcoal. Pellets? How about over 2 tons in stock, 12 different flavors and blends. Looking for wood for smoking? Memphis Barbecue Supply has 9 different types of wood in chips, chunks, mini logs, and logs. You can even mix and match your wood from their bins of loose chunks. Whatever it is that you're grilling, steaks, ribs, burgers, pork butts, you name it, they have over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and raw spices to make sure your food tastes great. If you have any questions, they have award-winning pitmasters on staff that can help ensure that your cook will be the best ever. Memphis Barbecue Supply, 7041 Stage Road, or online, mbbqsupply.com.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's cool cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or cool cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. MPD still finishing up a couple of earlier accidents. It remains a little bit slow over here at times on 240 East up by Poplar. It's not the worst we've ever seen it. There's still some volume of traffic there trying to get across the 55 bridge coming over from West Memphis. Still moving right now south of Memphis on 55 down through DeSoto County. Just watch for some radar in that southern portion of DeSoto County. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in the Memphis area. Make it Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. We've got about 30 minutes left in today's show and plenty to talk about. I believe I saw earlier that we talked yesterday, Big 12 and ACC both voted unanimously. I believe Big 10, I saw earlier, has also voted unanimously, so that would leave only the SEC that we have not heard from.
That would. And does the PAC get to vote? The two-pack?
It's a great question. I do not know.
Oh, Brian, as you know, I'm going to bring our listeners in. We've got a very ugly situation.
It's very ugly, Brad.
Developing. Our good friend, John Goen, he picked Victor Hovland for the Charles Schwab.
Great pick, Brett.
I thought so, too, except for one gnarly fact.
Okay.
He ain't in the field.
Well, that's an issue.
And since he went last, we are going to give him the one-time stay of execution from the governor's office, aren't we?
We sure are.
Which I think is very big of us.
I think it is, too. I mean, Brett, I've always told people, we are big people. You know, we will never sink that low.
Winning's not everything.
Exactly. I mean, we're just good people. And so we're showing it today.
And we're going to dunk and spike the ball on John forever over this. I'm still waiting for him to make another pick. I mean, what's he waiting for? The first leaderboard to pop up tomorrow?
Good Lord. At some point, we've got to cut him off. I mean, we got to tell him we got to have your pick by this time.
He wanted to blame OWGR, and I said, he was your first pick. It doesn't have anything to do with OWGR.
Why were you even looking at OWGR? I mean, you knew he was in the top 25.
But the OWGR website, he says, had him in the field.
Interesting. I'm going to look and see if he's right about that.
And I know John's an honest person, very busy, and a great sponsor and a great friend. So
and a great guest. We love having him.
And a great guest. So we're going to let him have a pinch hitter. But you're right. A lot going on with the college football world, good and difficult. Mm-hmm. Even after they get over this hurdle, it was my not top story today. Even if they get over this hurdle, it's just hurdles for miles, though.
It is.
It's almost always the next big either building eligibility issue or legal issue. It feels like it will never end. And the Big Ten and the SEC, some are viewing them as belligerent now. You ain't seen belligerent. They're going to get enough of it and go their own way.
Yeah, it feels like this is just the start of anything, and so I think everything's tidy right now, but who knows what it turns into, and like we said, now with the Big Ten, we've heard from 3, waiting on the SEC, but I don't know. It's a very different time right now, and I do think this is the start of something bigger.
And the non-power conferences, they're going to vote. Somebody's going to sue, and not like this. John takes Sepp Straka, so we will accept that as a pick. But they're not pleased. They're not pleased having to pay in something that they largely did not have a voice in.
Right.
I would just tell them, if you want to keep playing along, you're going to have to go along. It's bigger than you.
You have to, especially with the Power 4 conferences doing this. I mean, you've just got to go along with it. As unfortunate as it might be, you gotta follow. And I hate to say that, but you just gotta follow what those power conferences are doing.
And what potentially could be the greatest Memphis Tiger football season ever. The backdrop of that is all this going on. Sure. It will really put even more financial pressure on the Tigers athletic department.
No, it absolutely will. And so, I mean, those are things that I don't think people think about. You don't think about that when you're walking into the stadium on, a Saturday.
You just want to enjoy the games.
You just want to enjoy the games. But, I mean, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and this will only mean more going on behind the scenes.
Mike DeCourcy with a great story today at the Sporting News that he thinks that this doesn't hurt the basketball tournament going forward. I mentioned that, if this changes, if we got down to 2 24-team super conferences, Big Ten, SEC, and whoever follows along, but about 48, 50, 60 teams, that it would impact the basketball tournament. Mike writes today, and when he writes, I listen and really digest, that he thinks this helps the basketball tournament going forward.
Interesting. What were the reasonings behind
to
it?
get some satisfaction, to get clear understanding of where it's going, if we have clear understanding.
Sure.
It's a really good story.
That's a big if we have clear understanding.
It's day to day, it feels like to me.
It seems like, changing constantly, all the time. And you kind of got to keep up with what's going on or you'll get way behind.
What does the sub-licensing say to you? How did that hit you on ESPN so badly wanted it? They win the rights fee, and I guess they sold it for a handsome price.
Yeah, I think you definitely hope so because, like you said, it felt like that was the big story of, okay, ESPN really wants this. They were the top bidder. This is great. It's staying with ESPN, yada, yada, yada. And then you see that of, oh, okay, well, did they not want it as much? Do
they really want to compete that Saturday with NFL?
And that's the big question is this news coming after the NFL schedules were released of, did that have an impact? And I'm sure it did. And so it's going to be interesting. And so I don't know. I definitely saw it a little bit negatively because I think if ESPN really wanted it and thought it was going to be massive and huge for the ratings, they wouldn't be sharing it with anybody. And so I took it a little negatively.
Now, Brian, for a long time I have said it gets really ugly in May for college football. Sure. All the dirty laundry gets out there, and this one is another one of the Mays that all the sausage making is untidy. It looks bad. Then we settle in with a little more information as we get to June. Then media days hits. Then practice starts. And then when we get to Saturday, poof.
Yeah.
It all goes away. Well, and we almost can lie to ourselves as we're out there enjoying the mix and the mingle and the week in and week out of all the bad. We do. We put all that to the side, and when we get to our games and we get to the fun of the season, we hear the fight song, we see the games, all that goes away.
Oh, of course.
And then it pops back up, and every year in May gets this ugly.
Every year. Every single. It's weird because it's almost like around conference meetings is when it gets really ugly, and then you get that month off, couple weeks off, and then once we come back from media days, everybody's friendly with each other. Everything's
and the PR
great.
Machine takes over.
PR machine takes over. Football's here. We're just focusing on our guys, our team, and it's gonna be a great season. And then we go right into the season.
Because right now there's not anything. Except for the past and the fun and the hope for, and the hope for the future, there's not anything there's no standing for college football to defend itself right now. It's a little bit of a pinata, just getting battered.
Yeah.
But every passing day gets closer to the season,
Sure does.
and we'll get past. I hope we get past the legalese and get to. Actual football. I know we will.
So. Yeah.
If we made it through 2020 summer, we'll make it through any summer.
Certainly. And so I think, get it all out now and let it take care of itself so we can kind of tie it back together and
give us more TV times in those dang magazines and we'll feel better.
I love it. And, man, if they're actually on the newsstand, I got to go looking for some because I need my...
I'm going to Novel tomorrow, I promise you.
Got to. I love going to Novel. So
I do
stop
too.
in there and check it
out. And this This is not a commercial,
Right.
but they are friends of mine. Have you ever eaten it, Novel?
Brett, everybody asks, because everybody knows I love reading, I love bookstores, and everyone asks me that exact question. I have not, but everyone,
It's great.
I've never heard even like just a good review about it. Everyone is
It's
just
great.
Unbelievable.
Setting's great.
Yeah, I've got to try it out.
Really is.
And again, not a commercial. It's just
Nope.
literally everyone's told me. I mean, I need to check it out because I'm in there all the time. But yeah, gonna have to do some shopping over this next couple days into the weekend, trying to get those college football magazines. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin and crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close, love. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Select a request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I've got Jason, the main man marshal, here, and he's ready to start something big at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. What's up, Jace?
Randy, I've got 42 MPG on the highway on the all-new 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for only $249 a month. Or take your pick from the 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Taos SE. We Gossett at $279.28 a month.
That's a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE, $249 a month. Or take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S or 2024 Taos SE, $279.28 a month.
And Randy, you know the deal. Make me an offer because no reasonable offer will be refused.
Ask for Jason, the main man marshal, at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike. Online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RZ 236449, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be provided with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes fact file and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, Ryan Silverfield and his staff continue to bring in transfers in the spring portal. He said he was going to do it, and he certainly is doing that. Earlier today, Indiana linebacker Daryl Minor Jr. committed to Memphis. He didn't see any game action last year in his lone season at IU, but started his career at Tyler Junior College, where he played 2 seasons and led the team both years in tackles for loss. So I think gives this linebacker group that should be pretty good a lot of depth. That was the 7th incoming transfer in this spring portal. And over on Rivals, Memphis shot up to number 14 in the 2024 team transfer rankings. That's the highest for any group of 5 team. Then this afternoon, just about an hour ago, Daryl's brother, Kobe Minor, also committed to Memphis. He was a defensive back at Indiana. Last year, he recorded 29 tackles, has 1 year of eligibility left, and since entering the transfer portal, visited Mississippi State, Michigan State, and was set to have a visit at Alabama before he canceled that and committed to the University of Memphis. So Ryan Silverfield and his staff are doing a great job in the portal.
Brian, they haven't rested.
No.
I mean, since the end of last year, and certainly since the end of spring. And I can tell you, if you played at Indiana, even the player that didn't get any playing time last year coming from junior college, but if you were part of that, Tom Allen's a good football coach. He's out at IU, but he can coach. He can really coach on defense. What, you still have that Rivals list up of the portal teams?
Yes, I do.
All right, it really makes the good example. Who's one spot in front of the Tigers and who's one behind them?
Washington is 1 spot ahead of them, and Marshall is 1 spot behind them. How about that?
All right, well, we know what Marshall's been doing and what Huff's been doing there, and we know what Washington's doing.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's a good neighborhood to be in.
And right behind them, Mike Norvell in Florida State. So,
there you go.
So really, really good neighborhood to be in.
What I learned today, North Carolina AD Bubba Cunningham is in big trouble. He may be out. He's trying to get he was trying to get UNC out of the ACC and into the SEC, and now powerful state legislative forces that control the University of North Carolina and North Carolina State. They don't control Wake Forest and Duke. That's private schools, but they got some say-so. Those legislators represent Winston-Salem and Durham, so they have, they have an interest, maybe not, financial interest as in budget dollars for them, but he wanted out. He wanted to follow FSU and Clemson, and that has hurt him. And now it looks like the ACC will stay intact. I think that's good for the Tigers, though.
Yeah, no, I think really, really good for the Tigers. What I could have done without today, Brett, I think it might have to be what we learned earlier today about ESPN and TNT. We'll see the they'll get some college football playoff games.
How valuable is it before the ink's dry and you're kind of subletting it?
That's a good point. But we talked about it in the last segment. I think just We both read it negatively, and I don't think good. And I think especially with the NFL schedules coming out last week and us talking about, oh man, this is going to be the end-all be-all of can college football compete with the NFL, and then seeing ESPN doing something like this doesn't make me feel great, Brett.
I don't think games on TNT can go up against the NFL.
Not at all.
That feels like getting splattered in the ratings. We'll see, but and that's just our feeling. Felt like the white flag went out, didn't it?
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
Could have done without the fight over the weekend at NASCAR. I've said for 25 years I thought all NASCAR was the WWE with a car in a garage. And I know it was real punches. People, I don't need to know. I know where Ricky Stenhouse is from. I know he's from the area. I don't like the sport. I didn't like the behavior. I don't care about it all. Let them fight.
Brett, watching that video, I mean, way too many cameras already ready around him when
way too many hold me backs.
I mean, I think
let them fight.
Lee Alden and I were talking about this. I'm not saying the fight was staged at all. I'm just saying, I think before it happened, they said, hey, get all the cameras ready because this is about to go down. And I think a little setup maybe.
I'll never forgive racing, NASCAR, whatever it is, when they were parading around late 20th, early 21st century saying that they were bigger than baseball. We'll never, ever forget it.
No,
I don't care anything about the garbage sport.
You shouldn't. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to downtown Minneapolis. Yeah. Timberwolves hosting a Western Conference final game for the first time since May 29th, 2004. 20 years. Hope we don't go 20 years.
Ooh.
Timberwolves starting five that night was KG, Latrell Sprewell, Trenton Hassel, Michael Olowokandi, and Derek Martin.
It's incredible. I mean, that is a throwback. 20 years. It's a really long time. Beam me tonight. I'll go a little different from you. I'll go to the Mariners-Yankees game up in NYC. I mean, it's crazy how the Mariners have won the first two games. Yankees, I would say, probably gets this one tonight, but I think should be a really good game starting in just a couple minutes.
How will Minnesota defend Luka Doncic tonight? I don't think you can concede 40 to him. Hockey tonight at Madison Square Garden. What happened to the Knicks? They're not playing anymore, are they?
No.
That was quick, wasn't it?
It's the Rangers arena now.
Long day of baseball for the Cardinals, but productive tonight in baseball. Atlanta at Wrigley, and late tonight, 33-18 Dodgers at home, friendly confines of Chavez Ravine against the Arizona Diamondbacks, the defending National League champion.
That's right. And forget about the Mariners and the Yankees game. Beam me to MSG for
to
Rangers and Panthers. What am I talking about? I mean, that should be a lot of fun. A lot of good action tonight with the NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, even the college baseball conference tournament action we're getting has been really, really good today. So enjoy your night. That's all the time we have. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 50% bonus trade-in on all new